Hello, and welcome to another inspiring episode of Global Desi Women podcast. I'm your host, Arti Salanki, a business coach, real estate broker, and your Desi girl entrepreneur. Along with me is my beautiful co host, Vinu Palicha, founder of We Desi by We, a beautiful ethnic wear collections. You should definitely follow her on Instagram. Check out the outfits, it's just gorgeous. And today we are sitting down with someone who truly embodies the spirit of versatility and empowerment. She's a classical singer, Bharatanatyam dancer, an entrepreneur, a professional MC, community leader, a powerhouse behind Miss Malayali USA, a May Queen, and a creative mind behind Desi Superstar, a national talent show. I mean, there is much, much, much more than just this. So I think our audience, our listeners need to just grab a cup of chai and please welcome Lakshmi Peter. We're so excited to have you here today.
Thank you so much, Arti, and Vinu as well. Very excited and happy to be here and talk with you ladies.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. And I mean, this is just a part of the introduction. I know, like I said, there's so much more. Professionally, you are an electrical engineer and, a TV anchor, a radio personality. I mean, how? I don't even know where and how to start this interview because I'm like, okay, should I start with the electrical engineering part or should we go into your creative side? So I think I'm going to let you lead today and tell us where should we start? Where should we start your journey from?
I mean, it's all me. I am a logical person. I'm also a creative person. I love math. I also love art.
Yeah.
I could just never separate the two. And I'm a true blue Aquarian in that definition. I have two different sides to my personality, very much an ambivert as well. I love people, love interacting, but I also love my space while I need to step back and recharge. So all of it is me, and I like to live my life fully, and it really fills my cup doing all that I do. And I only do what I love. So there's no compulsion in there. There's no checklist that I'm checking off. I'm literally just thinking about what I love each day and I just do it.
Just following your dreams, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. I follow my heart. And some of these things were not even dreams, which I thought about and meditated, a long time. A lot of things were about grabbing an opportunity when it came my way. And if I loved it, I stuck with it. So
Right.
it's worked for me.
That's great, and that's the best way, right? It's like sometimes, like I like to say, it's like it's written in our destiny, and it's there for us. So it just takes you, it leads you to that place, right?
Yeah, pretty much. What I've realized is if my heart's not in it, if my soul's not in it, then it becomes stressful for me. It really eats up all my energy, and I'm trying so hard. I need to push myself.
Yeah.
Um, but things like everything that I do, whether it's my work as an engineer or whether it's my performances, my mind is fully and wholly there. So I just wake up and I'm excited for the day. I'm excited for my work day. I'm excited for my performances. And I feel like it matters. What I'm doing is, something that I like to do to give back. And it's not been stressful at all in that sense. There are a umpteen number of things that I don't do or that I can't do or that I choose not to do. Whatever I do, it's been a great journey so far. I can't complain.
What inspired you first to join, like, go towards art? Was it something that you've learned or done this since childhood, or something you wanted to learn from when you were adult? How did you get into it?
As a child, I started my journey in dance as a child. I was 4, and I don't really remember this moment, but my dad says I kind of bullied him into enrolling me in dance class. I think I saw the class passing by. And I saw a bunch of kids and the instructor, and I was like, I need to get enrolled today. I need to go today. Something about it just spoke to me. Maybe it was a creative expression. As a child, Maybe the movements attracted me, or just a different way to express. Maybe that's what it was. And honestly, my parents never pushed me to stick with it. They thought I would drop off a few years in. Then they thought when I got into high school, when schoolwork demanded more time, they thought I would drop off then. When I started college, I thought I would end it, but it's just stayed with me, different kinds of performances. And I slowly got into teaching, into workshops, and now it's just a part of me. I can't imagine myself without dance. And same goes with music. And then I realized that artistic expression is a big part of me. Sometimes I express myself without words, but through music or through art. And I love it. I paint sometimes.
Mm.
I like sculpting. I like making little movies. But dance and music are probably the most, prominent
Right.
methods of art that I practice. I
Mm.
love acting too. I've done some short films over the years, modeling. So all these are artistic expressions, and I like to dabble a little bit here and there in different areas.
So do
Yes,
you also
it's been lifelong, I think.
but do you also teach dance and music both?
I do
Or
teach classical dance and music. I teach Bharatanatyam and Carnatic singing. I try to keep myself updated with different styles, Western styles of dance and music. But these are the two art forms that I do teach. So I do have an academy based in Stafford, and I have some students in other locations where we interact with them online. And
Mm.
yeah, it's been 13, 14 years now that I've been teaching. And yeah, we're, a good little academy that promotes classical art forms, keeping the older art forms alive. That's my mission with this performing arts school. And yeah, it's been going well so far.
And that is the best way, to keep the culture alive, especially when we are out of India and we want to make sure that our next generation is also, they at least know our heritage, they know our culture, they know where we're coming from. So it's, these kind of our heritage, our cultural art is so important to have our kids have the
Yeah.
access to.
Yeah, absolutely. And in a country like India, we have 8 different classical dance forms.
Mm.
And you would think India being so diverse and so many people, you would think that everything is getting practiced and this will continue on. The rich culture will continue on for years. But several of those art forms are now becoming extinct because there are very few practitioners.
Yeah.
you know, the original trained practitioners don't have the financial ability to put up a school and train. So many of these things are dying away. And I think as, the new generation that's coming up, we have more opportunities to talk about it, whether it's social media, events, you talk about it more, popularize it more so that these kind of rich things stay alive.
Yeah. So, how would you say that the cultural heritage has shaped or, shaped your identity and the career path you've chosen? Do you see that it has, a role played in your life?
Yeah, I mean, to me personally, it brings me a lot of peace. It's my ultimate stress buster, whether it's, singing at a concert or performing or teaching. Teaching is huge in terms of just paying back to your soul whatever you learned over the years, and you're imparting that information. You're leaving a bit of yourself back, in a student's mind, whether it's a child or an adult. You're making an impact and you can really see it shape their personality. To me, I was a really shy child when I was really young. I had huge stage fears. I wasn't very talkative. It gave me, I think some extra tools to express myself. And over the years with stage performances, I found my confidence. I found my voice. My professional life, I'm in a leadership role. I manage a huge program with a lot of people. I'm always talking, teaching courses, or leading a large portfolio in a major enterprise direction. And for that, you need confidence. You need to know where you stand. You need to know how to express yourself. As a woman, you need to know how to hold your stand, right? Hold your position and own a room when you walk into it. Weirdly enough, my artistic experience did give me a lot of those tools. knowingly or unknowingly, because when you're on stage, it's really tough in the beginning. You're in the spotlight and you're facing, tens, sometimes hundreds, over the years, thousands of people at a time. So it's a very hard place to be in the beginning. But now, it's become second nature to me. And as I teach, I see the same journey in my students. So it's very healing. I've heard parents come back and tell me, oh, yeah, my daughter or my son, or my wife or my husband never used to be like this. They were, kind of gone into a shell. And over the years training with you, they've really come out into their own. And I love seeing that. So it gives you a lot of gratification. And, I can see my same journey kind of repeating in others. So everything is interlinked. They say the world is some small place. And it's true. It really is true.
It builds your confidence.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And music is one thing that, it connects you. It doesn't matter what language it is, it just connects you. Vinu is also a really good dancer.
I'm
Currently
learning.
learning.
I'm
She's
learning.
currently learning classical, but she's been dancing for a long time and she's phenomenal. But she's currently learning Kathak, and we always tell her that the grace and the movement and everything is so beautiful that even though I don't know much about dancing, but I still can see that and it connects you, right? I mean, even when you see a dancer moving, you feel that and you like, okay, in your body you also feel like, okay, I want to move too. It just connects you in such a different level, whether it's dancing or singing. I feel music is the one language that no matter what language it's spoken in, it just connects the soul. So the frequency is so beautiful, I would
Absolutely.
say. Yeah. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your pageants and your the other side, the talent shows and all the other side of the journey.
Yeah.
How did you get into that?
Yeah, so pageantry, I think I started several years after, I began my dance journey and music journey. I think it was in college. Just for fun, just for kicks, I participated in a pageant and I won it. And then I realized that ultimately it's the same. It's entertainment. You're going on stage. You're presenting yourself in the best way possible. There is another angle to it where, you have the fashion aspect. You're presenting your physical looks in addition to the way you talk and the way you present a talent maybe and the way you address questions. So as somebody who likes to talk and who likes to express themselves, this was also another form of art to me. After a few of those pageants, I then realized that a lot of people do limit themselves from going into it because it can seem like a lot. It can seem quite overbearing and, a very difficult place to be, to put yourself out there, but, as a solo participant.
Yeah.
Participating in a group art can decrease the pressure on you just a little bit, but in a pageant it's usually a solo competition. So, it's a lot for some people to just put themselves out there. And also sometimes a lot of people don't know about these opportunities. So as I grew and matured as an artist, you know a lot more people, you have access to a lot more opportunities and network. Your network has grown quite a bit. So I realized that at this point I wanted to create opportunities because I had a lot of them myself. I had performed over decades in so many different areas. As a performing artist myself, I was really fulfilled. Now the next level for me was to give back and to create opportunities for others.
Right.
So I started with a little talent show, and I saw how beautifully people, kids and adults alike, participated. They were just waiting for something like that in their local community. Then I started with a pageant very specific to the Kerala community because that's my community. I realized that being a very traditional community, pageantry was not as common there. And then I started the first Malayali USA pageant here in North America. And it was designed with keeping an eye on the sentiment of the community as well. Too crazy or too out there for them to be shocked with adopting a new concept as a pageant. But at the same time, the people of Kerala are very cultural. They're very into dance and music and acting. So I included all those elements in the pageant as well. So kind of catered, kind of custom to the community. And it was very beautifully well received. We had some amazing participants from all across North America and Canada. So once I saw that, I just continued that journey based on the feedback. We kept going every year. And every year I come up with some sort of a new brand as well, listening to the need of the hour and of the market. So it's sometimes talent events, and sometimes it's very dance based or music based concerts. I host a lot of concerts for causes or for nonprofit fundraising events. Just giving back through art.
Right.
People feel a little bit easier on their pockets when they're seeing something entertaining out there on
Yeah.
stage. So, it's really about giving back. I'm at that phase in my life right now, giving back and coaching newer artists, newer talent to come up, to the forefront and learn and express themselves as well.
Yeah. So how long have you been doing the pageants? I mean, like the Malayali pageant group. How long it's been?
It's been about 7 years now.
7 years. Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, Make Queen was another pageant. We just hosted the first one this year again.
Mhm.
This is open to all communities, Indo American, so a
So
much
is it
bigger.
for Miss or Mrs.? I know because like married women can take part in it,
Yeah, so
or
Make
is there
Queen
any?
Make Queen we had kids, we had Miss, Mrs., and we also had Misters. So, very rounded pageant, open to all. I think our youngest participant was 6, and our
Oh, so
oldest
cute.
77 in
Wow.
the making category. So, it was so heartwarming to see both, ends of the spectrum,
But
each
was
finding
this
their own
for
confidence.
was this open to all communities, or this is
Yeah, it
just
was open to all
yeah?
communities. Yep.
Well,
Yep.
that is
The
amazing. From
title was
6 to
just
77.
making or making. So any community was open. So we just went, absolutely global with this new brand. And the first one, the flagship event was this year. And it was very beautifully received. So excited to
Nice.
do season 2 in
Yeah,
2020.
call us for the season 2.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Be in the senior citizens category.
You guys are definitely, and hey, nothing wrong with senior citizens either. So,
No. When was this pageant?
this was in May of this year.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
we
That's
missed
why,
it.
hence the name,
To
Make
yeah,
Queen.
we need to stay a little connected to
Yeah, yeah.
all
Yeah.
these things.
Yeah, because it's we would definitely at least come and support, and if not participate, at least come and support and see it.
Yeah,
No, we can add it to our bucket list. Check.
Check.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, I don't have pageant in my bucket list. My bucket list has uh runway walk, so that is there. It's
Oh,
still
yeah.
there. It's open. Not pageant is not something I don't think I can do any solo performance at all. I don't think I'm that material
Don't limit
or
yourself. You
talented.
never know. You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Well, never know. That's true though. I am learning Veena, so I could come up with that performance.
There you go.
Beautiful. I love an instrument, Rena.
I love it too. It's just been it's my dream come true after many, many years. So this year I just started learning, so I'm just still pulling the strings, but yeah, I'm
Mm.
getting there. It's always nice to, there is no I feel like and I truly believe in there is no age to learning anything new. And I really, really like practice that so well.
Yeah.
And sad for my husband because I come up with every day something new, but I do take that very seriously. If I think something I want to learn, then I'm gonna go for it and learn it.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
that's the best attitude. That's the best attitude. Keep
yeah,
progressing yourself, and then before you know it, you're just rebuilding yourself.
yeah, yeah. So there's also I was gonna ask you. There's also the Desi Superstar, the national talent show. That
Mhm.
tell us a little bit about that. What was
So
the
that's
vision behind it?
dance and music are very popular genres of performances, right? We see umpteen number of dance schools, and then maybe a little bit lesser, but still quite a few music schools. Even in a city like Houston or any place in North America and in India, of course, it's a dime a dozen. There are several other performing arts like you know, an elocution or a mime or, you know, any other type of, or like a magic trick or whatever it is, you know, it's that's also talent. And I had noticed like from my network, a lot of little artists who were just looking for a stage, you know, for an opportunity. And they are in their field. They're supremely talented, very passionate, a lot of energy. So I decided to just create a talent forum for all talent, for all art forms. So Desi Superstar is open to all kind of artists of all ages. We had categories again from kids to adults, but there was no restrictive criteria about this is the only dance form or this is the only music form that you can participate with. So that saw quite a few interesting entries and a lot of people who we don't see in common stages or common competition arenas came up,
Yeah.
and you know they got a stage, and you know people who participated several years ago, 6 7 years ago, still talk about, oh, we remember when we did this, you know, those many years ago, that was an amazing event. And you know we had really nice judges, beautiful venue, a great audience, very interactive audience. So all that really motivates and encourages people.
Yeah. Can you
So
share
that's
us one of the art forms that is like rarely seen or known by common people? Like, especially, I'm not from art world, so for me it would be something different.
we had somebody who, I mean, there were so many different ones. We had somebody who dressed up like Michael Jackson, everything, the hair and the gloves and the shiny socks.
Oh.
And he did one of Michael's, you know, songs, and the dance was, you know, to the T. So it was something like, you know, this, America's Got Talent, but you know, on a stage, it could be anything at all. But what you chalk up to as a talent, you know, somebody you know, mimed, did a mimicry of, you know, like this is how my mom talks, and this is how you would typically hear voices in a jungle when you go on a trek, or, you know, and beautiful usage of audiovisual equipment. And, you know, people were really impressed by how they use their voice and the equipment to create all these beautiful sounds.
Yeah. That reminds me of my school time when we had a talent show, and that was the very first time I had participated. And I decided to take a role of, those people at the outside the theater who sell the tickets in black, like,
Yeah.
trays. And I dressed up like that. And we're all girls Catholic school. And so I had to dress up like a boy, and I had a mustache stuck on my face, and I dressed up with like all that collar out and beans, and then I was like, oh, dokapach, dokapach, dokapach. And I still remember, but I won because in the talent show they would ask questions on the stage while you are acting. And you have to be really come up with all these, so the interviewer would be like asking questions like, oh, why can't you sell it for less? I want this. And after like 5 7 minutes, I think the reason I won is because I cleverly exited out before he could ask me more questions, because
Um,
I was like, oh my God, the cop came, and I just zoomed out. So it kind of like,
right.
yeah, that was the only talent I had back then.
That's also a talent, you know. I mean, not weird, but we had, in one of the years, we had somebody make a painting in less than a minute, you know,
Oh,
on
wow.
stage live. They just bought an easel and bought paints, and in the timeline they were given was under a minute. So they made a whole painting of a Ganesh Ji, and you know, it really moved the audience to see something so beautiful just formulated
Wow.
under a minute.
That's very impressive. That's
Yeah,
very
very
impressive.
impressive. And you would never have thought about, you know, things like these or people who can do these things in your own community.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you said, there are many people who have a lot of talent. It's just the opportunity they're waiting
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes even, I feel like, especially women, we have talent, but we are, we don't get out of it. Like, the fear is holding us back, or we think the age is holding us back, or, what will the world say? And then we worry about all these things, and then we never step out of our little box of ours. And then and that's fantastic that you're giving this opportunity, creating opportunities for
Mhm.
people to come and participate. And
Yeah.
that way, one day they can break out of it and just join and take that fear out and get on the stage and just do it. And you never know, you could
Yeah,
win.
behind the scenes before, things go on stage, that coaching of what you just described, break away from your comfort zone, break
Right.
away from all these things that tie you down, all these stereotypes and these fears and anxieties. That is
Right.
something that I find myself needing to coach all the participants, especially adults,
Right.
especially women,
Yeah.
right? So when I'm successfully able to do that, there's a lot of gratification in that process too. And then I see it immediately after that first year. Then I see them on stages all over town in different events.
Mm.
And they always come back and say, you know what, Lakshmi, you're the one who gave me this confidence.
Yeah.
I never thought I could do this. And that means a lot. It means even bigger than a pageant title or a crown or an award. That shift that you caused in someone's mind, that means hugely. That is my definition of being able to give back and make an impact.
Yeah, it sometimes just needs a little push, and and that's it, and then they can do it. And it's I think that's what I love about my job as well, because I can see, people when they first women when they first start with me as a coach, and then they're like, "Oh, I can't do this," or they're limiting their beliefs. And that's what they cannot be successful if you're just having a very limited belief that, oh, I can't do this. I can only do this. I don't think I can move out of this, or I cannot take this step. And that's what is holding them back.
Mhm.
And I'm really impressed, and I'm really kind of grateful that you take this as your own experience, and you teach them and coach them how to manage that anxiety, how to manage the state fright, and just go out there and perform and do the best. And that's it.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's all it takes.
yeah. We have a little group called Dakshin Fashion Shows, which kind of take the pressure off competition and pageantry and just give people the joy of, walking the round, presenting a piece of fashion on stage. Like you said, individual performances give people a lot of pressure. This is a group event. And this is another thing which I started because I noticed that a lot of people who are not professional models don't get that opportunity to walk the ramp, right? Only professional models are usually called by designers or given that stage. So I created a little group of amateur models, kids, women, and men who just love fashion and they love to walk and pose. And we meet once a month just to coach people on how to walk, how to pose. And because I'm an established artist and a model, I get a lot of opportunities for fashion shows. So I coach my team and make sure by then they're ready, stage ready. And then we present little nonprofit fashion shows presented at no cost, but just for the opportunity of the models that are wanting to participate, also giving the designers some visibility. And so I try to support mostly women designers, local, who are just starting up and wanting to establish their brand. And I always try to promote this group of amateur models who really are looking for an opportunity. So this group has been successfully now, functioning as a little family that's very passionate about fashion for several years now and has grown to be a community of around 50 people, including kids
Wow.
and adults. And of course, we don't use all 50 every show, but, based on availability and such. But the community has grown so much over the years, and the quality of our shows are beautiful. They're themed, so we have some big festivals coming up now. There's Onam, Diwali, so a lot of beautiful fashion shows are in the works right now, and we should be seeing a huge Diwali show very, very soon, a huge Onam show very soon. yeah, and
And
such.
with
But
all
very
this,
prob
how do you manage the time? Because, and you have a little princess, 1 year old. So, wow.
Oh, 1 year old?
yeah,
1 year old.
she's one.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, so with so many hats that you wear and a 1 year old, how
I
do you
am
do it?
terribly organized. I have a calendar and I stick to it. I stick to it to the T. Like everything is on the calendar because that's the only way, I
Yeah.
can do it. I'm very planned and organized that way. And all the non-essential tasks, non-value added tasks, I try to delegate as much as possible. I do have a lot of help at home. I have a full-time
Okay.
nanny, I have a house assistant that helps me with errands and things like that. So I kind of stick with areas that need my attention and my input where I can create value. So I stick with that. And then, of course, you need to be on top of your time. You can't just
Yeah.
waste any. So you won't find me on the phone chit chatting that much. I do a lot of posting on social media, but I'm not scrolling.
Yeah.
So I pick and choose. I pick and choose the lesser evils of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to promote your events with being out there so much on stage. You have to promote your events. But if you ask me, hey, what did you see what I posted on my profile? I would most likely not know because I haven't scrolled at all. I don't watch TV. These are just little things that I've I wouldn't say given up. I've just deprioritized in my life. And when I do go on vacation, then that's when I kind of sit back and watch a show on the flight. And I'm like, oh, TV. This is great. This is great. I didn't realize I gave this up, but I allow myself that flight time wherever I'm traveling to just cut loose and do that. So I do take a lot of vacations to recharge myself because
You have to. I mean, like with everything you do, you
yeah,
do need to recharge and you do need to have that time off for yourself.
even people interaction, it takes a lot of energy from you and you're constantly exchanging that energy. So as in some roles you're giving more than you're absorbing, so you have to recharge. So
Yeah.
it's just some things that works for me, and I think over time I've kind of perfected that process.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the key. That is the key to success because you have to know how to manage your time. You have to know, like you said, prioritize what do you need the most. You
Yeah.
have to prioritize. Otherwise, you can't have it all. And I like the idea of not scrolling and just posting.
You have to be
Yeah.
very disciplined.
Very disciplined.
Yes, if you're
Is key. And I remember my dance guru saying this to me. I remember she said when I was little, she said, there are a lot of skilled and talented artists, extreme levels of talent. But what really makes you, a successful artist is the discipline. You have to be consistent with it, with your practice, with your regime, with your routine, with your diet, your fitness. And that's really, in the end, that is what plays out. It's really
Yeah.
the discipline. And I've noticed that that was a great life lesson in all aspects of life.
Yeah.
Discipline, whether it's about you hitting the gym or doing some sort of meditation in the morning or, making sure you're eating clean, whatever it is, or prioritizing time with your children, which, I do right now. I've waited years to have my daughter, so I make sure I prioritize time with her on a daily basis. And that really is key, the discipline. And once you get a hang of it, it's a rhythm and it
Yeah.
kind of stays with you.
I think you said it very well because music or dance, our cultural music teaches us how to be disciplined. Because even like I said, right now, for me, learning Veena, it's for me without fail, making sure that no matter how busy the day is, making sure to sit down and practice because it just teaches you how to be really disciplined.
Mhm.
And I mean, I do manage my time really well and I try to prioritize things, but to have everything done, everything else done, and then sitting down with the music, and I love TV, so I really can't give up that. So for me to have that time, it was in the beginning, I was like, oh my God, how I'm going to manage to add one more thing to my list. But then now it's become a part of me. Like, every day without fail, I'm like, oh yeah, I have to practice, I just sit down
Mhm.
and just do it.
It becomes like brushing your teeth. So
yeah,
it just
Yeah.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So you were recently also awarded Most Promising Woman Entrepreneur. What does that recognition mean to you? And how do you see your entrepreneurial journey evolving the
Yeah, so, I think entrepreneurship stems from passion primarily. My dad's an entrepreneur, so I've seen the journey and I've seen the level of risk that you have to take. But what drives you is really your passion behind an idea or a mission that you stand for or a cause that you support. Over the years, I think seeing that spirit in my dad, I felt like it was something that I could do, and I started my dance school as my first business, and it's a successfully running model. I also have an event planning business called Luxury Events. So we plan and execute weddings or concerts or events like that or galas. And then, of course, I'm a full time performer as well. So that has to be dealt with like a business where you have a performance calendar and you have to look and see what kind of stages you want to link your brand with as an artist or what causes you're supporting. I do have a radio show called Soul FM, which I have taken a brief hiatus from since my daughter was born because I needed that, time, evening time to spend with her. But I think the community, and this was awarded to me by the World Malayali Council, I think the community recognized that in spite of having um, a lot of hurdles as a woman, as a person of color, as somebody who is not living in her homeland. I have created these opportunities and kind of run with it. And in not just creating an opportunity for myself, I've also given a venue for people to make a livelihood or families to make a living or artists to create a stage or a venue for themselves. So I think that's the spirit that they wanted to applaud. I still have a long way to go. I wouldn't say that I've achieved everything I want in the business world,
right?
but I think it's a good start to my journey. And the award definitely, it's motivational and it's inspiring to share my story. That I've recently been appointed Women's Council Chairman for the World Malayali community. So this means as a leader for women, I'm again sharing my story, just like I am here and sharing my story, but within a community where there are a lot of isms, whether it is sexism or racism or colorism or ageism. There are a lot of little shackles which we can't see and sometimes self imposed that, as women, we hold ourselves back with. Yeah. So I think my calling is really to share my story, starting with my community and then going on forward to anybody that wants a reason to grow. Right. So yeah, things like these, and the award is not the be all end all, but it does offer you another opportunity to share your.
Absolutely, it does. So as you are a leader, a mentor, a role model, what advice would you like to give to the young women who want to pursue multi-passion, but feeling overwhelmed by the idea of balancing it all? How would you guide them?
Say there's no perfect timing for anything, right? I think what I've heard a lot from younger girls or younger folks who are holding themselves back is, I'm gonna wait till I finish school to learn something, or I'm gonna wait till I get married to start something of my own. I'm gonna wait till I finish having my kids to take this one trip that I've always wanted to go on. Yeah. I'm gonna wait till my kids finish high school to go on a girls' trip. Yeah. But the thing is, sometimes that timing never happens because life is faster than any of us think, right? Yeah. An opportunity is just whiz by and then the timing is never right. There's always somebody who needs you. As a daughter, your parents are going to need you later in life. As a wife, your partner always needs you, emotional, spiritual, physical support. As a mother, your children forever need you for 18 years even. Yeah. So there's never a perfect time, but what about you? What about you? When is your turn coming? So you have to make that opportunity. It's a choice. At the end of the day, it's a choice. And there's no need to feel guilty about anything. If at the time If you're in
Yeah.
school, if you want to take a break here and go see the world, see it. If you don't want to get married when you're 25 and you want to wait 5 years and get married in your 30s, if that's what your heart tells you, do it.
Do it.
Um,
Yeah.
if you feel like you want to have a baby when you're 20, if you feel like you want to adopt a baby when you're 20, do it. If you feel you have
Yeah.
the right skills and the right support system, what's stopping you is you.
Right.
So it's really that. And once your mindset is clear, once you have clarity of mind, I think everything just falls in place. So that would be my only advice. I'm not anyone to advise. Again, one solution fits doesn't fit everyone, but
That's
I
true.
think knowing yourself is a huge first step. I think it comes very late. I go to regular therapy just to reflect back on my
Yeah.
own mind. Just like I go to the gym for my body, I go to therapy for my mind. Just to
Okay.
talk things through, and I'm not looking for solution or any sort of treatment or medication, just to clarify my mind because there's so many thoughts that come through you every day, every second. And as I talk through, I'm like, yeah, you know what? This is really important to me. This, meh, not so much.
Right.
So let me focus on this for this year and see how things pan out. And I think once you know yourself, then everything becomes a lot more peaceful. There's a lot of ease in life. You're rarely stressed out. Somebody was telling me, like, one of my friends is a very huge, successful actor in India, in Bollywood. And he was telling me, people talk to me about schedule, schedule, schedule. Oh, I have an impossible schedule, all of us actors. But he said, one rain in Mumbai, and all of our schedules are canceled. Everything on our calendar is canceled, you know?
Yeah.
So we're just one bad rain away from
Yeah.
changing everything.
Everything.
So
Yeah.
don't take yourself that seriously.
Yeah.
Go with your heart, go with the flow, and then, take things one day at a time.
Yeah. Such a great advice. Such a great advice, Lakshmi. I mean, thank you so much for joining us today. And this has been, so inspiring. And your journey is so extraordinary because like we said before, there's not just a little bit of a things that you do. When we say we wear multiple hats, you take it beyond multiple hats, I would say. And
Yeah,
it's
thank you so much. You're
incredible.
really kind with your words, but thank you so much for this venue to talk. And I hope that we make a little bit of a change or a dent on anyone at all listening. And I've been listening to several of your podcasts before with some of my friends, in fact. And it's a very inspiring place to just share your mind as a global Desi woman. Truly, I think we're one of the strongest communities that are really coming up now. So looking forward to it.
Thank you so much for joining. And it's been incredible to see how you've balanced so many worlds with grace and determination. Your story shows us that women can truly excel in every space they step into, from business to arts, from community leadership to media. And to all our listeners, don't forget to subscribe Global Desi Women podcast. We are on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, YouTube, and iHeartRadio, and many other platforms. We'll be back next time with another inspiring story. Until then, stay empowered and keep smiling.